Guys, we might get the Clarity Act very soon. We had the Genius Act. I've been saying on these streams and these live streams for a couple weeks now. We might get the Clarity Act in September or October. And now we actually have tangible things to discuss in regards to the Clarity Act. So, clap it up. Progression is being made. Let's hit the gong and get into this, guys. This is the Financial Services GOP, the House, making this statement and urging the Senate to pass this bill. So the Clarity Act provides the necessary tools to establish a federal framework for digital asset market structure. So this bill is basically for market structure, okay? It's critical. The Senate passes this bill to ensure the U.S. remains the leader in digital finance. This is straight from the House, guys, the Financial Services. All right. Tom Emmer is a G. Bro plays hockey too. I like him even more. So Tom Emmer has been one of these guys in the government who has been championing. Is something wrong with me today? I don't know. He has been pushing forward crypto and trying to get legislation in place for a long time. He's one of many. Obviously, we talk about Cynthia Lummis. This Clarity Act, Cynthia Lummis and Kristen Gillibrand have their own basically idea of the bill. But this is pretty big, guys. This is straight from Charles Hoskinson. Okay. Remember, this is a couple months ago now. All right. This is July, guys. Remember I said the GigaChad bull run is coming. We are going to see 250K Bitcoin and trillions enter the space for the alts. Genius and Clarity Acts will be the catalyst. Now, Charles has also said multiple times since around this July timeline that we will get the Clarity Act in September. Well, it's September, and now the government is mentioning the Clarity Act. Wow, is bro a future teller? Probably not, because he knows people. Who's one of those people? Tim Scott, right? We covered this last week on the stream. I showed the picture. There is a picture out there of Charles. Oh, sick. And Tim Scott. So these two individuals met in Washington, D.C. to discuss certain things a couple months back. Charles also met with RFK Jr. I had to dig for it last time too for some reason. Here we go, guys. LinkedIn of all places I found it. But check this photo out. This is Tim Scott. This is Charles Hoskinson. Who is Tim Scott? That is Tim Scott. Tim Scott, guys. Timothy Eugene Scott is an American businessman and politician serving since 2013 as the junior United States Senator from South Carolina. Okay, Tim Scott has been involved in a lot of this stuff for a decent amount of time now, along with the Cynthia Lummises, the Tom Emmers. There's a couple other names that have been trying to pass legislation too for a couple of years now. They're all kind of in the same mix. But why is this important? Because the reason why Charles basically said we would have the Clarity Act is because he has connections like Tim Scott. He's getting insider information. He's regularly going to DC and meeting with some of these people. Okay? So if Charles genuinely thinks that we will have a GigaChad bull run and it will be because of two bills being passed, one we already had, the Genius Act, which is more for stablecoins, the Clarity Act is going to be the true catalyst, guys, because that's a market structure bill. Stablecoins aren't going to cause a bull run. The adoption of stablecoins is not going to help the price of Ethereum go up. Actually, that's completely false. Yes, it will, because they're mostly being built on Ethereum. Wow, I'm stupid. Great job, guys. But you get the point, though. The Clarity Act is more towards the entire space, right? It's for clarity. It's for market structure. Now, the Genius Act was basically market structure for stablecoins, in a way, obviously, but the Clarity Act, I feel like, is just more broad, and it's going to have more of an impact. So, always got to ask Grok what the sitch is, right, guys? Can you explain to me what the Clarity Act bill is and how it helps market structure in crypto? So here we go, guys. The Digital Asset Market Clarity Act of 2025 is a bipartisan U.S. House bill passed on July 17th, 2025 by a vote of 294-134 aimed at creating a comprehensive regulatory framework for digital assets in the United States. It seeks to address long-standing regulatory ambiguity in the crypto industry by clearly defining the roles of the Hfsc and the CFTC, fostering innovation while enhancing market integrity and investor protection. Below is an explanation of how the Clarity Act. Okay, what is the Clarity Act? The Clarity Act is a legislative effort to establish a clear regulatory framework for digital assets such as cryptocurrencies and tokens by delineating which assets fall under the jurisdiction of the SEC and the CFTC. This is great, guys. This is what it kind of looks like. This is basically what it looks like. This is going to help break down whether the SEC or the CFTC regulates a specific project. Now, they use decentralization as a metric. Shout out to Dave, huge guy in the Cardano ecosystem. If you want to learn about Solana's failed transactions, flubbing numbers, all legit stats, guys, go look at Dave's posts. Pretty insane, the things that happen on the Solana blockchain. I'm not hating. If you're a Sol Holder fan out there, it's great. I used to hold Solana in the past. I think it's still going to be here. It's got too much eyes on it, too much money in it. But is a project like Solana going to pass as a mature crypto or decentralized? In my eyes, no. No. Right? A mature test. The mature blockchain test. As of right now, there are only 3 mature blockchains. That's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. I didn't make that up, guys. The government did. Bitcoin, ETH, Cardano. This is probably maybe going to add more to that list and really define what makes something actually decentralized or not. To me, holding something like Bitcoin and Cardano is a no-brainer. Those are commodities. Fixed supply, lot to it. Solana, I don't know. It's not a fixed supply. It's not nearly as decentralized as they claim that they are, or as something like Bitcoin or ADA. Even ETH. ETH still has issues with decentralization, in my opinion. You can easily make the argument that Ethereum is not nearly as decentralized as other blockchains. You got to put up a lot of money to really contribute to the network in a big way. What is it, 5 ETH? It's a lot of money. That's like thousands of dollars, guys, just to be able to contribute. On other blockchains, it's not like, let's use Bitcoin example, Daddy Bitcoin. I can right now go buy a miner off Amazon for $100. That's my entry level cost. Now, it's not a node, but it could be a solo miner. The point is, the entry level to contribute to keeping the network secure is much cheaper and easier than it is on a platform like Solana or Ethereum. So a lot of this stuff is going to have to be figured out, guys. And I know a lot of bullish things are happening with Ethereum and institutions right now. That doesn't mean the thing is perfect. There's issues. There are for sure issues with a lot of this stuff, guys. I got to be honest. One of those issues with, let's just see here, because we actually have some really interesting stuff going on. I want to read one thing to you real fast, if I can find it. Let's see. Well, what I want to read, as I'm looking for this, guys, what I wanted to read to you real quick is the fact that, here we go. So, according to data, the Ethereum Foundation is constantly selling Ethereum and dumping the price many times over the last 5 years. We might do an investigative report video on this, as we do here on the Coin Zone all the time, breaking down what's actually going on and giving you straight up the facts. We're telling you guys the truth here on this channel. That's our objective. That's our MO. That's our Mo Bamba, baby. How you doing? Yes, guys, but it's not good. It's not good. And it has ties. ETH's foundation ties with Sharplink Gaming, Joseph Lubin. Joe Lubin was an Ethereum co-founder, left to go to Sharplink. They now have a treasury strategy. Yeah, there's a lot going on here, guys. But, you know, things like this have issues. There's issues there. Same thing with XRP. You have Chris Larson and insiders selling the token. It was pre-mined. Is that really decentralized? I mean, XRP, if you're one of you guys watching right now, you're probably going to slaughter me in the comments because that's what you guys do. But, I mean, prove me wrong. Right? I mean, we can do that. We've had debates on this channel. Well, not really debates, but we've had good interviews. I want to host debates, guys. If you're in the XRP community, the Bitcoin community, whatever, let me know, reach out to me. You know, the XRP versus Bitcoin debate is pretty big. I've had a debate personally with somebody in the XRP community who was calling Bitcoin a scam as he's an XRP holder, which is funny to me. But the point here and the objective is decentralization. Now, why does this excite me as a crypto holder? Because right now, I think there actually is a decent effort, a big effort by this administration to kind of just pick and choose winners. It's the American motto. It's what we just talked about in the first live stream. It's what America does. We don't have free market capitalism because they pick and choose winners, right? That's what's kind of like going on right now. Chainlink, clear winner so far. Clear winner. ETH, clear winner so far. Bitcoin, clear winner so far. Maybe a couple others. That's what's going on, guys. Until we get this act, more cryptos will be thrown into the mix because you're going to have to define some of these now. You're going to have to define them because the government needs to figure out who's going to regulate it, the SEC or the CFTC. Very interesting, guys. Let's stay on our toes here. I'm going to play a quick clip. Actually, we're going to pull up something for you guys to watch. This is Brian Steele. So, members of Congress speak on the House floor. This was recently, guys, a couple months back when the Genius Act was getting passed. We had comments about the Clarity Act. So, from the government's mouth, pause. Let's listen to this clip on the impact of what they think the Clarity Act can provide to the crypto space. Let's listen to this 2-minute clip and then get back after it.
Gentleman from Wisconsin is recognized for 2 minutes.
I thank Chairman Hill for all of his hard work on that, Mr. Speaker. I rise in strong support of the Clarity Act. I think two things are clear. First, the digital asset and blockchain technology are leading the next wave of financial innovation, and we need to make sure that that innovation is occurring here in the United States of America. Second, under the previous administration, the United States failed to enact a regulatory framework that's aligned with the realities of the technology and adequately protects consumers. Today, the House has an opportunity to meaningfully improve the status quo that for too long has been marred by uncertainty and regulatory enforcement. The Clarity Act establishes a workable, forward-looking framework. The Clarity Act provides and ensures the markets operate with transparency, accountability, and strong consumer protections. Today, our laws leave digital asset developers guessing which regulator in what jurisdiction and what even compliance looks like. It's not bad for business. It's bad for consumers and bad for U.S. competitiveness. Without action, we'll continue to see innovation move overseas to jurisdictions that are providing the legal clarity that we thus far in the United States have failed to deliver. Mr. Speaker, what we want is innovation and developing not occurring in boardrooms and law firms in the United States. We want them occurring in basements and dorm rooms. Ensuring the United States leads the Web3 revolution isn't a partisan issue, it's an American issue. The Clarity Act legislates in a thoughtful way in a rapidly evolving space. The Clarity Act protects consumers and fosters innovation. Today we can lead not by accident, but by design. Let's send a message that America intends to lead in the golden age of digital assets. Mr. Speaker, I support the Clarity Act and encourage my colleagues to vote yes. I yield back.
Very nice. So breaking down and dissecting what bro just said, okay? Number one, I think the biggest thing here, and I think this is, along with the Clarity Act, I think this has been Donald Trump's biggest, let me just get there. I think this has been Donald Trump's biggest contribution to the space so far. He's made a lot of promises, and he's kept true on a lot of those promises. Now, number one, the fact that over the past 4 years, countless businesses were offshored to different countries to set up shop because of Operation Choke Point 2.0, because of crackdowns on blockchain and crypto businesses here in the States. Billions of dollars probably got offshored. If you want to zoom out and talk about long term, we're probably talking trillions of dollars the past 4 years were lost and went somewhere else because of Gary Gensler, because of the Biden administration. Let's just call it what it is. It's exactly what it was. We had a video about it. We interviewed Ralph Dillon a couple weeks back on the channel, who has his own blockchain firm. He was debanked. Someone you don't even know about, right? We've heard this happening to the Winklevoss twins at Gemini. Mark Andreessen talked about it on the Joe Rogan Experience. It happened to the entire Trump family. Bank accounts shut off, guys. This isn't a conspiracy. This is actually happening. That actually happened in the United States over the past 4 years, right? This Clarity Act will do away with all of that. Now, you're still going to have the JP Morgans doing the thing that they're doing now, right? Just shutting off people's accounts. But when you have clarity and something is clearly not, it's legally defined by the SEC or the CFTC, you can't do you can't argue anything. It's legal now. So providing and continuing to provide this type of clarity, no pun intended, that's probably why the bill is called the Clarity Act. It's going to push the space forward, and it's going to give institutions and probably a lot of retail the peace of mind to know and understand that they're not doing anything illegal. The reason why people think that the Clarity Act can be a huge catalyst is because there still are institutions with billions of dollars waiting on the sidelines for something like the Clarity Act. So now that they have complete green light, the go ahead to go do whatever they want to do, right? So this is pretty big news, guys. I don't know what the odds are on Polymarket. I haven't looked yet. I'll be very curious. I don't even go on Polymarket, to be honest. But maybe let's see if we can do this real quick. I'm going to share this tab instead. I guess clear. I've never even used Polymarket before. I gotta be honest. Chat, if you use Polymarket, let me know. Fed decision in September. That's a big one. 86%. Trump out as president in 2025. 6. Who the hell thinks that? Yeah, I mean, Polymarket. If you don't know what Polymarket is, guys, this is basically a gambling prediction market platform built on Polygon. They just got clarity themselves to be able to operate in the United States legally. So everything's gravy. Everything's good to go now. But I'm curious. I don't know if that typed in before. Clarity Act. Okay. So currently Polymarket has a 31% chance that by the end of the year, the Clarity Act will be signed into law. That's super low. That's got to be updated after today. 31%? Shit, I might throw money on this now. God damn. You got people like Charles and more. Cynthia Lummis as well. These are government officials, guys, saying this. Cynthia Lummis. Government officials telling you, yeah, this thing's going to be here soon. We're going to get this done before the end of the year. Cynthia Lummis said herself, before the end of the year. Yes, sir. We're getting it done. Paul Atkins just said, well, I'm going to do everything in my power as quickly as possible to give you guys clarity. It's the SEC. Donald Trump himself is saying it. JD Vance is saying it. The president and the vice president. So what more do you need, guys? 31%? Really, Polymarket? Are you guys serious with this? 31? I'm gonna check this tomorrow, see where we're at. Check this by the end of the week. This is really making me want to put money in this. Oh my God. 31%, guys. 31% of you guys are on it. The other 70, I don't know what you guys are looking at. Maybe you're not looking at anything. But after today, I'm sure these numbers are going to go up. So chat, let me know in the comments. All 21 of you guys with me right now at the moment. Pretty sick. Thanks for tapping in. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are we getting the Clarity Act in September? If not, maybe September, do you think October? For me, we got 4 months left. September, October, November, December. 120 days to get this act passed. It's for sure happening in my eyes. For me, like I'm at like a 98% conviction rate right now. I don't know why this was so July 17th, right? Yeah, this is for sure going to spike up again, guys. July 17th, this spiked up. So let's look at this. July 15th is at 63%, spiked to 87%. Why? July 17th. Okay. July 17th. So right when bro makes this statement, okay, shoots up. Now, again, we're probably going to see the same thing right now. X is going crazy with this news. So if you guys use Polymarket, let me know. There's also a very similar prediction gambling platform built on Cardano called Bodega. Let's go check Bodega out. All right. Bodega Market. Curious to see if they have their own here as well. I don't know. We'll do this another time, guys. But at the end of the day, you know, I'd be very curious to know what you guys think about this whole thing. It's a lot going on in the space here. And if you guys think the Clarity Act will be passed this month, then yeah, I think the markets would absolutely go insane. Literally insane, guys. I really think they would. This is the framework that we're looking at. Maybe in the meantime, we can pull up. Let's do this, guys. I'm going to pull up a video of Cynthia Lummis. Now, only reason why I want to do this is because Cynthia Lummis has been championing the Clarity Act for a long time. All right. July was really when a lot of these individuals were making huge statements. You know, 2 months later, now they're back at it. So let's just look for a quick clip of Cynthia Lummis. Wow. She's done a lot, guys. Cynthia Lummis has sat down with countless people in the space. She holds a lot of Bitcoin herself. She sat down with Natalie Burnell before. You know, it's very interesting, guys. So I'm going to stop sharing this. And what I will do is let's listen to a little bit of this interview. Cynthia Lummis did this 2 weeks ago, guys. This isn't the Squawk Box, but it's CNBC. So she expects Clarity Act to be ultimate foundation for crypto market structure bill. 100%. That's what we're waiting on. Let's listen to Cynthia herself talk about this. All right, let's get it. Now, if you don't know who Cynthia is, before we play this video, Cynthia Lummis is out of Wyoming. She's the chair of the U.S. Senate Banking Subcommittee on Digital Assets. And thank God someone like her is, because she's not an Elizabeth Warren type who refuses to try to understand this space. No, she's pretty much gotten it from the beginning. She was one of the first government officials I saw really embrace Bitcoin. So kudos to her. Let's get to this interview.
Back and to be interviewing you, the senator of Wyoming, here in person. And I want to talk to you about Wyoming because it's no surprise you wanted to participate in the Wyoming Blockchain Symposium, especially given your connection to the state. This is your home state, and you're a big advocate for crypto and blockchain technology in the U.S. Senate. Now, Wyoming is known to be a pioneer in crypto regulation, enacting more than 50 crypto specific laws. So I'm wondering for your take on why Wyoming should be considered a crypto hub. What are some of the key things that Wyoming was able to accomplish?
Well, states generally are the incubators of innovation when it comes to
All right,
government policy.
we're going to
Yeah,
jump
we're
ahead
here
a
at
little
the
bit.
Wyoming Blockchain Symposium, a big area of focus, crypto regulation. And last month was a huge month for crypto regulation, with the House passing three crypto related bills. One of those bills, the Genius Act stablecoin regulation bill, was signed into law. So we got our first piece of crypto legislation signed into law, many calling it a watershed moment. How would you categorize it, and what does it signal to the country related to crypto and its priorities for crypto regulation?
Well, we're finally embracing President Trump's goal of having the United States remaining the digital asset capital of the world. We shouldn't be ceding that role to the United Arab Emirates or to Singapore. Even Japan, which is notoriously cautious,
Hong Kong too.
has a more robust digital asset regulatory framework than we do because they're starting to embrace innovation. And it's very important the United States retain that role. So Wyoming has led. Because Wyoming led, I had the uh, embedded statutory framework that Wyoming passed to move into Washington. So we've adapted it to Washington regulatory dominance in commodities and security.
Now, back in June, the Senate unleashed principles for its version
All right, so we're going to get into the Clarity Act aspect of it shortly.
of market structure. You asked for industry feedback. Where does all of that stand right now? When can we expect to see the Senate's version of market structure? And how does that impact the potential for the Clarity Act to become law? What's the latest with that?
Well, now I'm guessing about what's going to happen, but this month we have been seeking comment from the industry on our market structure working draft. We've gotten an overwhelming response, and I think it's because people know it's going to happen. So they're finally really diving into it, really weighing in. We have tremendous feedback from the industry and a wide variety of participants in this industry. So it's been extremely helpful. I want to thank the industry for taking advantage of the opportunity to weigh in. So we're incorporating their content and ideas into our draft. You will see a very comprehensive working draft from the Senate Banking Committee very early in September. And then we'll begin working on a bipartisan basis to hone through the bill and then mark it up before the end of September in the Banking Committee.
Now, did you guys catch that? We're going to end it there. All right, we're going to end here. We're going to end here. Now, this is why I'm so confused. Polymarket has this at 31%. Cynthia Lummis literally just said in this clip, before the end of September.
And then mark it up before the end of September in the Banking Committee.
31%, guys? Okay, we showed you before, July 17th, bro made the statement, odds shot up. I'm going to expect the same thing to happen today. I'll come back tomorrow, I'll check the odds, see where we're at. But I do believe this is going to spike up. X is going crazy. It's a frenzy on X right now about the Clarity Act. If we get it, guys. And then we get rate cuts. Wow. All of 2025, people were thinking the bull run was going to be right around the corner. Month after month. Oh, you got a month left to buy. Well, it's now September, 8 months. We haven't seen the Giga Chad bull run yet. Whether that's good or bad, it gives more people more time to add to their positions. So I think we're very close. I don't know how much longer, but maybe Q1 2026. But my God, we are as close as we ever been. If the Clarity Act gets passed this month and the Fed cuts rates, things are going to go absolutely insane, guys. So if you want to stick around for when that happens, make sure you're subscribed here because we're going to be covering it every day. As you guys know, this is the Coin Zone. I'm Crypto with Paul, going live one more time today. So stick around for that. Make sure to sub if you haven't. Follow us here on X. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. I'll see you again shortly.